They cleared all the vegetation.
It's the first time we'd been able to walk through there. A sneak preview of how it's looking now. Hello.
Hello.
As requested by one of our YouTube viewers, we have put some aerial footage so you get an idea of the layout of the house. Thank you, Alan.
I mean, a better ruin you'll never find.
It's a great ruin.
It's a ruin. See how the plants had started to take it back again. And then replace all these railings here and put glass in there as well.
This was before we bought it. This was your first visit, wasn't it? And unfortunately, all the lovely trees, the roots were uprooting this patio, so they all had to come up. This video is all about getting the outside finished, and in fact it's part one because there's so much to do. This is when we came back after our 3 months away.
This is when we were going to have solar water heating on the roof. And in the end, we decided to have photovoltaics and electrically heat the wire, but that's where the solar water heater was going.
That's the start of the patio slabs they made.
Yep. They seem to be making those every day.
Going on everywhere.
This poor guy sanded that roof for days by hand. His arms must have been falling off. And then to add insult to injury, he had to paint it all. Some paint went on his head, some went on the wall. We changed the angle on the steps to come straight down instead of turning left towards the kitchen.
That's the electrical socket for the car charger. And this one is the electrics for lights going down the steps.
At last they're starting to lay the patio slabs they've been making for months. 43. Over 500 of those things there. And they need 500. Oh, that's much better. That was very roughly rendered, and then they rendered it smoothly, which made it look so much better.
And then it's been painted white. It's great to see the patio taking shape. Oh, yeah. More slabs. And they made different shaped ones as well, didn't they? For steps and for
full wall coping stone.
Wall coping stone.
There's your coping stones being made.
It was really interesting to see how they made them.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. So this we had to dig up the foundations for the patio because we had to run wires into the wine cellar for the batteries for the solar system. So they've done that today, that wasn't there.
Oh yeah, they have. They've come all the way to the end.
And that bucket's come out. That wall behind me, we decided in the end it wasn't high enough, didn't we?
Yes.
So we added a total of, I think, 4 blocks, there you go.
But then they had to take some down because they built it too high.
Well, it was like a big square wall, so we wanted it tapered a bit. So the poor guys, they just built it and we asked them to cut the top off.
And it's perfect now.
Yeah.
It's a shame the whole drive has to come up.
So the drive was leaking into the room that when it was a museum was a wine cellar and part of the laundry. So they had to dig the whole drive up, waterproof it and then relay it.
Let's go and see. this water feature. The builders didn't think it worked, and then they discovered the pipe to it. Still digging up the drive.
I pushed him again.
It was a big job. Water was also going into our ensuite. This was exciting. We came home and they were putting the coping stones on the wall ready for the glass balustrades. And I think it's the first time we'd seen them take down the divide between us and them.
Ooh. Coming on, isn't it?
There's all the power cables going into the house, and there was a lot.
That's the only thing I don't understand. What's that?
Goodbye. Thanks. It's new machine. Oh, the guy's the hard.
So we had to clean the drive pretty much stone free to be able to put this mesh down to waterproof it.
I think there was a leak in the pipe, wasn't there?
I didn't want to concrete over it with a leak underneath.
It was super impressive how they made the slabs, and they put different textures on depending on where they were for. There's Reuben again. He spoke quite good English. We were lucky. He was brought onto our job because he was very good.
He was fast.
He was a fast worker, wasn't he? And they needed somebody to get the job finished.
This is how they make the surface really smooth. It's just raw cement. So it's very hard, but it's very smooth.
Oh, this was a funny day. It was so wet. And the guy doing the carport support wore a plastic bag on his head to keep himself dry. They never stopped, even when it was raining. Finally, the scaffolding could come down. There are so many moments like this where something was suddenly nearly finished or finished.
Oh, we got a patio.
A bit wet.
See if there's 12. Is it 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What do you think of them, Andrew?
I like that. I like the round nose on it, on the front.
Can you tell these steps are cracking again?
These steps are cracking.
No, I need you to come back here and say it. Say it again. What do you think of the steps, Andrew? Oh, great.
Oh, these steps are cracking.
That was so acted.
Let's think about this. White, grey. I wonder what's going to happen to that bit.
The builder said they liked working here because of the view, but it was quite away from Funchal, which they didn't like.
So here they're setting a depth gauge to pour the concrete, so when the drive is poured, the whole drive is level. They keep it within those the levels of cement are down. And of course, the day they delivered the cement, it rained.
It was certainly difficult for them, but they did it. They just kept going.
So that's the roof goes like that,
Yeah.
drains into there, and what goes that way,
Yeah, and it goes in
they're going to put a pipe
yeah,
to where? The floor?
to the floor, so that, and it will connect to this big hole that they have here.
So it's going to drain across the surface, or is it going to be a
No,
pipe?
no, no, it's going to be a pipe. They have to do that because the wall is round.
Now they've done a good job.
So the
We kept discovering more and more lights, didn't we?
We haven't done a light to go on there. There's not one on the other end, is there?
In the end, we didn't use them all, we just had too many.
It's another light. Two lights. So I'm assuming there's a light up here or something. What's that going up there? So we can stand on them already.
They put the steps in, but then walked on the step they'd just done to put the next one in.
I was about to say, they take things seriously. It's like the steps, they're not right, so they took them back up.
Yeah,
What are you taking a picture of?
I'm videoing our painter.
This guy should have been in a circus up the top of that scaffolding.
They had no fear.
No.
It's when they did the solar panels that scared me. That's to come in the next video.
There's another 20 slabs done. So they did this every day.
The wall's starting to look really good now.
You really weren't impressed with that guy's steps at all.
Who took them out?
Foreman. Big waves.
This is new.
This one's new, but I think that's a sensor, so the gates don't open when there's something in the way. But then again, standing on the floor, I don't know what's going to happen. Was that there before?
Yes.
That's just
It's
cemented
been
over
there.
it.
Yeah.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now it's finished, we're still not sure that all these have been used.
It looks like a different building with that painted.
It does.
This is when we're discussing that the steps aren't quite level.
We were worried about them collecting water. At this point, we'd been told we could move in 2 weeks. We couldn't see it. But we had a deadline. We had to be in by the 4th of December because my daughter was bringing our cat Leo on a flight with TAP Airlines. So we needed the house to be ready so we could move in.
How did they do it so quickly?
Roller, that took 2 minutes. This is only like a primer.
Like magic.
It made it so much brighter when we painted them.
We were going to have it grey.
We
Catarina said no, white, brangle. So
getting ready to finally take the staircase off that we've been using for about 3 or 4 months while they worked on the rest of the house.
there was a staircase there originally when we bought the house, but it had fallen down, it was rotten, and we decided not to reinstate it.
Down over the corner, you see there's even a plant growing in the corner there. That's where the water was going.
That's what was making our bathroom.
Yeah.
There's Ruben again, working hard. We did become quite attached to the builders.
It's quite sad when they didn't come anymore.
It was, it took a while to adjust.
Making a cake! Making a cake! Bolo! Bolo! Faster! Faster!
Move, move, move! Work, work!
Sidonio's here.
Fucking trouble now.
So this day they were covering the electrics, and that guy was the MEO engineer trying to install our Wi-Fi. He had all sorts of problems.
If he turned up an hour later, the pipes he wanted to get at, he wouldn't have been able to get because they'd be covered in concrete.
Yes. Talk about timing.
Whistling! Whistling! This one a good deal? Much? Yes. Good.
Sorry guys, you're gonna have to redo these steps. Now this is the fun bit. No demolition construction.
Made so much difference having this glass. And I know people will be thinking about cleaning it, but actually it's not too bad.
No.
Andrew has a special recipe to clean glass. If anyone wants to know, you can ask in the comments below.
So glass carport, solar panels,
And gates, electric
and
gates.
and those gates were heavy.